When learning your favorite songs, sometimes it can be a struggle of deciding what to work on and how much of each song you should be actually trying to focus on. If you think about it, it's very easy for guitar players to get stuck trying to learn every component of a song, and then they get frustrated because they're never finishing songs. They're just working on little pieces of songs, and then they get stuck and they move to another song and get stuck. And so today what I'd like to do is talk to you a little bit about how to approach this to have more success. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to just talk about your path of study. So if you think about it as a guitar player, what you need to acknowledge is, where are you? What is it that you have ownership over when it comes to certain guitar skills? Not, I've been introduced to this, or I remember studying this thing, or I can kind of sort of do this, or on a good day I have success. But what things are you really, really, really in control of? And that's one thing that I always try and teach people, the big difference of being honest with yourself on what you actually control. So if you think about it, for instance, if you take an absolute beginner who's learning how to play a G chord, they don't have control of that G chord. They're learning how to play the G. They're developing the skills to play the G, to make the G faster and cleaner and all of those sorts of things. But until they get the G chord to that level, they don't own it. Right? They're just utilizing the information and trying to accelerate and develop the information, right? To the point of ownership. That's what you're looking for. So when it comes to playing songs, if you're always trying to choose songs that are outside your level of control, your level of ownership, you're going to consistently struggle with them, obviously, because there's components within that song that you are not comfortable with. Now, that's not necessarily a bad thing. That just then shows you, hey, this and this and this and this are things that I'm going to need to work on. So the song itself is going to have to be put on hold while I develop the components needed to play this song. So that's the struggle when you're kind of a beginner guitar player, is you don't really own anything. You don't have ownership of these particular things. And so it's hard to, play songs to motivate you. And then, you may have a situation, an instructor or whatever it might be, where you just keep learning more and more components, but you're really not, again, at an ownership level with any of it. So you just keep getting further and further away from the dessert, so to speak. That can be very disheartening for a guitar player, for a budding guitar player wanting to learn how to play songs that they like. So what I did was I came up with this idea of what I call ego, E-G-O, and project songs, because what I found was a lot of my guitar students tended to be overachievers, especially the students that I had that were more rock or metal music oriented. They just always, and I love it, don't get me wrong, but they were always very much overachievers. They always wanted to do the hardest stuff. And again, I think that's awesome. That's great. So as I'm talking about this, please understand, I'm not saying you're not allowed to do things. You can do whatever you want. But there's a lot of frustration in trying to play songs that you're not ready for. So if we go back to this beginning student that I was just talking about that's trying to learn how to play a G chord, and then next week for this person's guitar lesson, they're given an Yngwie Malmsteen song to play, or a Steve Vai song to play, or whatever it might be. That's not going to be beneficial for them. They're trying to play something that is so far outside their control. They're not going to have success with it. Now, again, you could argue, well, they might learn how to do something. Yeah, they can. That's wonderful. But fundamentally, it's not on track with what it is that they're trying to learn. Where if I had the opportunity to teach them whatever fundamentals there are, it is possible that some song that they wanted to learn how to play is getting closer and closer to being able to be acquired by them. So putting things in the right order and doing them at the right time can often make the consistency and the speed at which you're accomplishing things much faster. So with an ego song, E-G-O, I always think like tapping yourself on the back. You feel good about yourself. So an ego song should be a song that fits into elements that you either A, control, or B, are working on controlling, and you're not trying to learn every single nuance of that song that's going to put you back in the world of confusion. What happens a lot with guitar players is they don't spend enough time trying to learn how to play something from beginning to end, to experience what it's like to concentrate on whatever it is we're playing for 3 minutes or 4 minutes or 5 minutes or however long this thing is, being able to keep time, listen to the music, strum along, not get lost, know when the verse is, know when the bridge is, know when the chorus is, know when the breaks are, whatever these things are that we're concentrating on, but learning how to focus yet play at the same time, focus on the music and play at the same time and concentrate and be able to successfully do that for an entire song. So an ego song is exactly that. I'm not asking them to learn the solo and the intro and all the licks and all the fills and everything. We're just trying to have the song meet them where they are in their journey and then learn how to play from beginning to end. So if I said to somebody, okay, so let's look at, whatever the song would be. Knocking on Heaven's Door. So to play Knocking on Heaven's Door by Bob Dylan, we need G, D, and C and an A minor chord. So right away the question is do you know those chords? Not have you played them before, but do you have control, ownership of those chords? Well, I know G, C, and D, but A minor I need some work on. Okay, so now we need to make a choice. Do we want to spend some time developing that A minor so now we can play this song, or do we need to choose a different song? Because you don't have A minor yet. It's okay, but these are the choices we have to think about. Do I want to put in some time to learn that? Obviously, it'd be a great idea to do that. But we have to talk about this. We have to make a choice. So if A minor is out of the question, then we probably shouldn't approach the song. We should find something that just has G, C, and D because that's where your ownership lies. Okay, so we find a song that just uses G, C, and D. Sweet Home Alabama, right? G, C, D. There is an F in there, but it happens so little that a lot of times when I teach this from an ego song perspective, we don't even worry about the F. We just play D, C, G, D, right? That's what we're doing, is that over and over and over. Well, D, C, G, G, I guess it would be. So we don't worry about the picking stuff. We don't worry about the licks. We certainly don't worry about the solo. We just learn to play D, C, G, G for 5 minutes or however long the song is, right? And then we can focus on the chord changes. We can focus on the strumming, all of these other kinds of techniques that the student is developing in an ownership sort of way, okay? And develop those skills. Now, this particular song wouldn't have any other changes. There isn't a bridge and a chorus and that sort of thing for them to worry about. So it's a great starting point to learn how to play an ego song. And then we would make another choice, another assessment. What's the next song we're going to look at? Well, maybe now we're ready to do Knocking on Heaven's Door, and this student has been working on A minor, and now we're going to start putting that together. Okay, so now this song, Knocking on Heaven's Door, moves G, D, A minor, G, D, C, C. So we actually have two things now that we have to think about moving back and forth between those two sections. And then strumming and listening to the song, paying attention to the tempo, staying with the band, all those sorts of things, playing all the way through. So that's what the idea of an ego song to me. Now, you might be further along the guitar food chain, and it isn't these songs that we're talking about. Maybe we're talking about something else. Right? A more complex song, but you still have the skill set to make that into an ego song. So if we were looking at, maybe it's Highway to Hell. Okay, so now we're dealing with an A and a D and a G and an E, whether you're playing them as open chords or power chords or whatever it is you're doing, okay? And that's what you're focusing on, but you're focusing more on the groove and the strumming, how you're doing, ba-da-da, da-da-da, that kind of thing. So not just strumming, but now strumming in a rock riff context, okay, with different changes, that sort of thing. Maybe we're looking at Rock You Like a Hurricane, right? So the beginning is the part that most people can do pretty easy if you know your power chords. And you can visualize the motion, that sort of thing. And then we get to the verse, and the verse has some palm muting with some chords moving and things like that. So again, maybe that fits into your ego song, schematic. Or for somebody else, because they've never done palm muting before or power chords are new to them, this isn't an ego song for them. It's a project song. So if that makes sense, what I was trying to tell people is think about it kind of like a 5-to-1 ratio, or 5-to-2 if you want to. It's fine, but don't have everything be a project song. And let me explain a little bit about a project song now. So a project song to me is a song that at this stage in your playing, you're probably not going to be able to play that entire song. You're going to be playing elements of it. So you might go in there on fire, ready to go, and you get to measure 17, and then it's like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. That I can't do that. Crazy Train might be a prime example for a lot of players. The beginning of Crazy Train, everybody learns that, but as soon as you get to the verse and it requires you to do alternate picking and the pull-off stuff and all those kind of things, maybe that's a struggle for you. So all of a sudden what you thought would have been approachable becomes a project song because that part you've never alternate picked in your life and you don't know how to palm mute. Well, it's gonna hang on the project song shelf now, or the project song wall, because there's elements that we need to develop. Now, the benefit of a project song is it's going to introduce you to new things that maybe you don't experience when you're looking at ego songs in your comfort zone, in your control space. So the beauty of project songs is you keep going, oh, I've never done that before. I didn't know about alternate picking. I didn't know about power chords. I didn't know about palm muting. Now I do. So you extract the concept, the technique, the skill set, whatever it is that you're trying to do, and now that becomes part of your practice regimen to develop for not only that song, but other songs that are like it. Chances are, if you like Rock You Like a Hurricane by the Scorpions, you like a lot of other stuff that is similar to that is going to use a lot of the same skills as far as a guitar player goes. You see, that's the benefit of this. Ego songs are great because they make you feel good because you were able to play something from beginning to end and experience what that is. You can also do that in front of other people. Maybe you've got, a friend or a relative or something that you're playing for, and they like, wow, that was great, man. You did really good. It was awesome to listen to you, and now you feel better about yourself. Where the project song thing, you're playing a little bit and then you got to keep stopping, and then a little bit and then you got to keep stopping. So it's not that it's bad. It's just understanding that you want to have a ratio of both of these things. Now, finally, I want to explain this to you too. An ego song can become more of a project song by digging deeper into the song. So if you think about, for instance, Sweet Home Alabama, we'll go back to that. If you were just playing the chords and strumming to it, and that's all you were doing to it to make it an ego song, but you decide, I really, really want to learn how to play the beginning of that. So you start trying to practice the picking part of that, but you're brand new to single note picking and all of the components that go with that. So that element of Sweet Home Alabama becomes a project song element, but you're still able to play the song. So if people ask, or, just for general practice on a daily basis or whatever it might be, you can play this. But that component of Sweet Home Alabama is a project song component that you're going to keep trying to develop because you find value in it. You find interest, you find worth to practice what that thing is to develop it. And then the other really great thing here is the more you learn how to control the influx of things that you're trying to work on and the reason that you're working on them, and what category they kind of fit into, it's okay to have project songs. Like I said, it's no problem. Just be okay with the fact that you recognize right now in your path, in your guitar path, you may not and probably won't be able to play the entire song, because if you could, it wouldn't be an ego or a project song. It'd be more of an ego song. So this is my point. 6 months from now, if you diligently practice and you try really hard and you learn all the things that you need to learn and study and all of those stuff that we do as guitar players, or a year from now or whatever it might be, what happens is some of this stuff that was project songs for you a year ago may not be project songs anymore because you've developed all of these skills. So your landscape of ego songs is ever changing because your skills are getting better. Your knowledge is getting better. Your overall control of these things keeps increasing. So the ego songs become more involved, where for somebody else, the song you're playing is a project song. For you, it's an ego song. So hopefully that makes sense a little bit, because, I get really bummed when I talk to people, and I talk to people all the time about guitar playing, and they're just really frustrated with themselves. I can't play anything. I suck. I don't think any of that is true. What I think is true is that you're just not understanding your path and your foundation. And that needs to be organized so you understand what you're doing, why you're doing it, and how you're doing it, and what your goals are. And then feeding those with songs that match what you're trying to do, as opposed to just hypothetically playing anything. You've got a purpose for the things that you're playing and how they fit into the trajectory of the things that you're learning, if that makes sense. So be careful with that. Okay. Now, if you decide that you need any help with this kind of stuff, just letting you know, here at GuitarZoom, we've got what's called the GuitarZoom Academy. And this is where we help you with all of this kind of stuff, get you organized, get you on a plan of attack, understanding what you need to do, getting a practice regimen together, getting, what it is that you should be studying, what it is that you kind of need to stay away from for right now to stay on track. So often I find guitar players that are just kind of, they want to learn, but they're all over the place because there's just so much information everywhere that they don't know what they're supposed to be working on. They don't know in the order of what they're supposed to be working on, and they don't understand what they're missing. So that's what that's all about. But anyway, hopefully that makes sense to you and gives you a little bit of clarity on ego songs versus project songs, and to start making some decisions based on where you are in your path and what you own, what you control, right, to an absolute level. Always remember, if you kind of know something, you kind of don't know it. And that's where the problem winds up, especially if you have multiple pieces of that, then the whole thing just becomes very frail. All right, so take care, stay positive, and I'll talk to you soon.